In this IG Live, we are going to chat about how we can get husbands and wives to parent on the same page. Parenting is hard. Parenting alone is harder. So I hope that this IG Live session can better give you some insights as well as inspire you to communicate with your husband or wives and communicate regularly and talk about your parenting goals so that you guys are more aligned. So I have invited two of my students from my course. They are a couple, Brenda and Brandon. Yes, their names are very similar. And I'm going to get them to come on board to share with us their story and also hope to give you guys some insights, okay? So for those who have joined us, make yourselves comfortable. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. Right, okay, we managed to make the tech work. So I was just telling everyone that we're going to talk about getting couples to parent on the same page. And I can't think of a better person than two of you. Because, you guys tell me your story and I've seen how you guys parent in a sense that, remember during our book club, then I saw Brandon preparing food for you. And I thought that was very hands-on husband you have there. So I just thought maybe we can share with everyone, what are the challenges that they're going through and how we can actually share our insights to support and help them. Okay, so I think we can just get started. If it's okay, maybe you guys can tell everybody your names, ages of your kids, and I don't know, what do you guys do? Are you guys both working? Stuff like that.
I start off with okay. Hi. My name is Brandon. It's my wife Brenda. We are both working adults. And we are working on site. So, like for my wife, she's in healthcare. So throughout COVID, she never had any work from home. And yeah, we've been on site working most of the time. And we have two boys. One is 7, P1 this year, and one is 5. They're very loud boys, very loud, and so it gets very lively at home. But of course, on the flip side, sometimes too lively is very okay. That's more for that. Yeah. So Jacinth, thank you for inviting us here today. It's been, I think, coming to a year since we attended your FYTC course from Yelling to Connecting. So I can say I would say throughout this year we've been seeing changes, improvement in our lives, but it's slow. It's slow, but it's steady, and so yeah, I would say this is where we are now. Yeah, still improving stage.
Yeah, it is a journey.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to think that it's 1 year and I'm not like at, where I want to be. Maybe I just share a little secret. I took like 3 years. I took like 3 years to get to where I am, and it's a journey. So with anything that we learn, a new skill that we pick up, there are ups and downs.
Yeah.
So some days you feel like, oh, I've achieved a huge win, but some days you just feel like, what happened? Yeah, and these are actually very normal because it's part of growth. Sometimes growth can be very uncomfortable. So we need to embrace it and tolerate that discomfort so that when we're at the trial, we can still go up to that, that crest, the thing at the top. Yeah. So maybe you guys want to share with us the division of labor at home, as well as, how it has been during COVID, because you said that Brenda was working in healthcare, right?
Yeah.
So what are the challenges that you experienced and how did you guys work it out together?
Wow. Okay.
Maybe the division of labor.
We don't really have an exact division of labor. Yeah. She's mostly taking care of the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very very good at it.
Then Brandon will usually be more like a support in a sense, like the household chores and stuff when I'm with the kids. So we kind of like I think slowly over the years we kind of build up on our strengths. Like we know what our strengths and we work on it. Like he's a better cook, so he will be in charge of cooking meals and stuff. And then I'll clean the house. And then the kids usually we will take turns, but Brendan is a very good storyteller. So usually bedtime stories, he will be the one telling and they'll be very engaged in it. Yeah. Then I'll be the one like probably preparing the milk and stuff. Yeah. So I think we slowly kind of work out. We didn't really like, okay, you need to do this, and that. So I think it was kind of a chemistry in a sense.
True.
Was it like that from the start? Like any challenges you guys face or disagreement, conflicts?
Yeah, I have to add in this because it's okay, this is quite funny. But before, I mean, when we had our first child and all, and there's always good days, right? But there's always days that's terrible, and that there are times whereby the frustration comes in and all. And I used to be the one that's like, let's say I'm doing the chores, I'm just cleaning up, and Brenda's trying to settle the kid, and then I hear her getting agitated, like, oh, why like that, she's getting frustrated. Well, on the hindsight, I should have been more calm to handle it. But back then, I was always like, oh, my wife is agitated. My wife is angered. I must come in and take control of the situation. So how I take control last time was go in and shot, and then just flare up. And I realized after that, most of the time when I flare up, I'm even more fierce than her. I'm even more explosive than her. And the kids, they end up, they get very scared. Of course, they cool down, they quieten down, they stop crying. I tell you, stop crying. I tell you, don't do this, or go to bed. Yeah, they follow all the orders. But start to realize that they get very whiny. They start to go like, oh, they only want mommy. So what happened? This was our biggest disagreement after that. Brenda was feeling very, very tired out. Like, I'm so drained. The kids are always wanting me at work. I'm constant, I'm fully maxed out already. I give my all at work, and then she's like I said, no break during COVID, no work from home or anything. And then back home, right, she's like working a second job, and she cannot get any rest. And instead of helping, and I thought I was helping, the biggest disagreement was I was not helping by being so angry. I was not helping by getting so frustrated, So I would say that's where we start to have these disagreements. We cannot really work it out other than sometimes you push me away. You tell me, hey, you don't get involved, But I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, so that was how it was back then. I just like that, pull my hair, but yeah, we didn't know what to do.
I think that many people who are watching now are nodding their heads and they agree. When after work, you come back home, they have to work again. So parenting
second
is
job.
like 24/7. Yeah, there's no way you can like stop parenting, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, stop working. So I see the problem that you have here is that everybody the both boys wants mommy.
Yeah.
I'm sure many of the parents watching also, they are very frustrated because I'm the one doing everything, and it might actually lead to some resentment in that one parent if it's not communicated to the partner. Can you imagine that the parent just keep it to himself or herself and say, I'm doing everything, or maybe the other parent felt that I've already done so much, but why are you not appreciating me?
Yeah.
That's where there's this like gap and misalignment. They're not talking to each other. Mommy not talking to daddy not talking to mommy, making a lot of assumptions. And I think this is we're not getting out of the cycle. It just goes on
Yes,
on.
it's very vicious.
Right. Yeah. So unless we are very intentional to like, okay, let's just settle this, let's just talk about it. I feel like one of the key I'm sure you guys did as well, communicating with one another, right?
Yes.
To share your pains, share how, okay, like Brenda said, you don't come and help me because actually you're not really helping. Yeah. If she never said that, you wouldn't know, right, Brenda? You would just think that I'm doing very well, I'm contributing.
Yeah.
But how come you never think that I'm helping you? So I think one point we want to bring to the parents watching here is that communicate with your partner. Talk about how hard it is. Talk about how you want the other person to help exactly. So instead of saying, can you help? Like, I'm helping.
Yes.
That's not what you have in mind. So hopefully this will, if any one of you have your partners watching as well, talk about it. You guys are together in this. There's no way out. Kind of like no way out of the relationship. No way you can't return your kids. You just have to go through it. You just have to do it. And I think why don't we just everybody take a step back, ditch the egos and embrace the
Yeah,
differences?
I agree.
I'm not sure, do you guys like have different parenting styles based on the different ways you were brought up, or would you think it's quite similar?
Mm,
Mm.
In a sense, similar, but I think what is very different is mine was the dual parents working, but for Brenda, I think her mom was a stay-at-home mom after the younger brother, right? Yeah. So I think that played a huge difference in how she was brought up thereafter, and that she's the only female in her family. Yeah, so she naturally will take on more of that motherly role and all, but yeah, it's still very traditional. Yeah, so I mean, back to the issues that we had right now just now, right? What happens was she would be like very traditional female. She would really like take it all, just take it all. Try to push it all down, push it all. Wow, me, I'll be like, being in a also very traditional role whereby when my dad disciplines is really just it's really very strong-handed and firm. So to us, we always grow up with this kind of mindset that as long as you're being firm, then the kids will get it, that kind of thing. And that honestly, we often mistake firm with loudness and yeah, just overpower the kids and be as strong, right? Be very strong. Yeah. So she would be the one that she would keep quiet. She'll keep quiet. She would try to after that, still have to like console the kids. Yeah. So like what you said just now was really true that we didn't realize there were differences. In fact, we never ever mentioned or discussed about how do we want to parent our kids. I don't really think this is a topic that's been discussed or really um thought about in a sense. You just think that, hey, two of you, I love you, you love me, let's get married. Okay, then let's have kids. Then after that, after the kids brought up, we will just think that, oh, I just want my kids to be good people. Yeah, that's all. But what do we really want to see in our kids? We don't really discuss that, and we don't really discuss, hey, how should we bring up our kids and all. I mean, probably we are not really well read in the parenting world and all that. I mean, I know of people who, well, before being parents, they read a lot of books and all. We are like chill, clueless, just yeah,
just in the hospital, deliver baby fast, okay, go home.
yeah, come back, go home.
Hospital.
Wow.
I think
Then figure it out on your own.
We probably thought we know how to parent until we really got
Yes.
a child and then realized actually we don't know how to.
Yeah.
We just go along. And then
Correct.
like I know that punishment is not really the way to go, but I have no clue how else. What else
Yeah.
can I do? Yeah. So
True.
often we are in a state of very helpless. We are very helpless. Like we don't know how to we don't know how to engage our children. We know that they are struggling, but we don't know what else to do. And I think many parents also, especially parents who are brought up by the authoritarian parenting style, because my dad is that style, my mom is the authoritative style. So I kind of have both in a sense. So I think if we won't know what else to do, we only know like punishment. But yeah, we know punishment is not really the way to go. So we end up we are just like frustrated every day. Before we attend this course, we really got no clue at all what to do.
Yeah. Even myself, when I had a baby, I also never read parenting books. So just now Brandon said a lot of people read parenting books. I hope they do it now, but when I was a first time mom, I didn't, and I completely understand what you mean. Very, very lost. Like I feel out of control. So because I'm a teacher, right? So I like, as a teacher, you have to take care of like 40 kids, and for me, I need to control them, make sure they listen in class, hang their homework, and I could do it very well. Like the kids will listen to me. But when I get home, right, I cannot even control one kid. And this guy is only 2 years old. I can teach the 13 to 16 years old, but I cannot handle a 2-year-old. And I felt like a failure. I felt like, what happened? Is there something wrong with the child? Is there something wrong with me? Do I need to get help? Do I need to get the child, I don't know, diagnosed or something? Like, why is he always crying? Why is it that he cannot listen to what I say? Then I realized that it's because I'm controlling him. So the more we want to control, the more your child wants to be in control as well. So like we mentioned in the course, right? We want to give our children age appropriate control, and that will be easier. So going back to reading and learning about parenting, not many people do that. But I think now with all the accessibility to the resources, online and all, people are more open to learning and reading. So what do you think is your like biggest takeaway after learning about positive parenting and respectful communication with your children? Like what's the biggest thing that comes to you, to your mind, or that's most helpful so far?
Most helpful, right? Can I share? Because I feel really helped by it. Yeah, like I said in the past, going straight away, stop, and then, like I said, on the long term, I didn't realize it. In fact, it was Brenda who realized it, that the kids get afraid. They're just scared. You know, I'm just scaring them away, and that even after attending, I still commit the same mistakes because it's not so easy to change it. But I realized once I slowly make my slow changes, right, and steadily improve, a lot of things start to fall into place. And the one thing that really worked for me was stopping. And what I mean by stopping is don't respond, don't react. You know, when an issue arises, let's say I hear commotions in the room between the boys and Brenda because of disagreements, or let's say I hear that one is having a meltdown and tantrum. The brain has to be rewired. So what I think is, you know, from the course we learn, rewire the brain. The kid is not being naughty. The kid is having a need or having a problem that needs the parents' help to help them solve it. Needs the parents to guide them through it, show them the way to go through this emotional roller coaster they are going on. Yeah. So the first thing, of course, before I employ all the other skills and techniques we have learned, I press the stop button first. Immediately I must say stop, don't respond. And whatever thing that I'm thinking about, like, wow, I want to go and shout, wow, you such a naughty kid, why is it no. Arrest all those words, really just take it back and just stop. And then breathe. Just breathe. I don't know how it seems really simple, but yeah, you know, when that moment happens, when that trigger, you know, that switch tick in you, wow, immediately you just feel like you just want to react. But it's really about not reacting, but just stopping and then cool down. Like for me, I can take a sip of water. I can move away from the sound. That's my own technique. I mean, yeah, but different people can do it differently. And once I stop, I'm more cool. I'm more calm. I can feel that I'm better. Then I enter the room. Then I enter the situation. And when I do so, I would start employing the different methods, such, you know, the telecasting, sport telecaster, you know, tuning and all. I think the first important is really calm myself down first. As long as I am calm, as long as I enter the situation calm, if Brenda is really getting a bit, you know, frustrated, it could be multiple reasons. It could be many reasons that cause her to be frustrated. I must enter calm. If I don't enter the situation in a calm manner, if I come in and be more flare up and be more angry, nobody wins. At the end of the day, seriously, 11 out of 10 times, everyone is crying. So there's really no point being more angry. But being calm really helps. And the father being calm really helps. That's what I felt. Yeah, because the father is always seen as the I don't know how to say, you know, in the Asian, maybe like the figurehead and all. So when the father, being the one that often can be the loud one, chooses to be calm, to really go low, go slow, it makes a huge difference to the kids. It really makes a huge difference to the kids. And yeah, do you mind if I share an example? Because it just happened.
Go ahead. I'm so engrossed in your story.
just this evening. I honestly do not know what happened between the kids. I was just Brenda, because my younger boy is not well now. So Brenda was in the room trying to, you know, take care of him and apply some essential oils on him and help him feel better. You know. And they were my two boys would start to have some commotion. At first, my elder boy was very calm in his response to the younger boy. He's very calm, talking, and my younger boy was losing control already because, you know, one thing, he's not feeling well physically, not unwell. Plus, maybe I don't know, whole day he didn't see his brother. The brother came back from school, they want to play, but sometimes they play their channel different. So I was glad my elder boy was very calm. So I continued doing my things. I was not really minding them. I was just hearing out for the noise level. Then suddenly I heard my elder boy shout. And I was like, wow, cannot. My elder boy shout already. I must enter. So I faster put down my things and enter. But I was so thankful as I enter in very calmly, right? I saw my elder boy walked out. And actually that was one thing that along the way we have, in a sense, taught him that, whoever is upset, don't hit each other, don't fight it out, calm down, move away. That's what we kind of help him with this coaching technique for him. So he did that, and so I received him calmly too. And brought him out to the sofa. I sat down with him. So situation, my wife is with the younger boy, trying to calm him down. I don't know what's going on, but I trust her to do it. For me, I was with the elder boy, calming him down. So I talked to him, and he started telling me things. Daddy, you said before, when we are upset or when we are not happy, there's a few things we can do. We can either rest, or we can eat something, or we can shower. Yeah, I told him that because oftentimes we realize for kids, when they come home from school, there's this term called after school restraint collapse. They've been so restrained in school the whole day. Every day, yes, teacher, yes, teacher, yes, teacher. Then come home suddenly, their true self come out. So what happened was, we always try to let them know these are the few ways they can help themselves. So he told me, now I feel like eating something to feel better. And that's when I realized, as I calmly approach the situation, as I know I'm not fast, I'm so glad that my elder boy has actually learned some and recite to us the things that he needs, how he needs help to calm down. And this was only done when we were calm. In the past, when I was not calm, I would just always scold him. The first thing he would do when he sees me coming into the room, he wouldn't even want to go to me. He would suddenly shout and scream and kick me and say, I don't want daddy. And to be honest, as a father who really wants to help in that situation, really loves to want to help to solve the situation, hearing those words really break my heart in the past. But nowadays, I'm so glad that they would choose to come to me. And that through those calm moments are those teachable moments that we can teach them how to help themselves through it. So just now I was really glad. My boy calmed down in, I can really say, just 1 minute, in just 1 minute. And it was all because of the many, many months of slowly building them up and really, I would say, even coaching them to help guide them through their emotions, guide them through how they can handle themselves. And this was only done because we stayed calm. If we didn't stay calm, I don't think we can teach them all this.
Yeah, modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
But of course, it's not always we can manage to do it. There are bad days too.
Yeah.
But that's another topic.
So I wanted to add that you are modeling how it should be done. Some things are more often caught than taught. The kids see you doing it and they want to do it. And this is good because initially you said that your kids are very scared of you and very fearful.
Yes.
But now they are able to go over to you. You have opened up your arms and allow them to come here without judging, blaming, or shaming them. Yes. And you have secured this relationship with them. Yes, there are days that it doesn't work out. But even during those moments, the kids are still going to you. And it really, really helps them to see that if they encounter a problem, like your son is in primary 1, wherever they experience in school, they're able to come back and tell you about it. Yeah. There are some children who keep things to themselves because they think that whatever happened in school, whatever happened to them, when they get home, they'll get scolded by their parents again. So especially when your kids are older and they're going to primary school, a lot of things are going to happen in the class. A lot of bully cases, a lot of small little things that their friends did or did not do. So I think you brought up a very important point about modeling it so that our children can learn from us. So I also want to add on about the tech, that you guys have a tech team. Because just when you mentioned that you took the dysregulated boy. No,
both of them were dysregulated.
Okay. So, except that both of you, right? That's good enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you took one and Brenda took the other. So it's like
Yeah.
a tag team. This is another thing I
Right.
wanted to bring out to everyone listening as well. I want you to work out this tag team with your partner. So Brandon mentioned about how when the wife was agitated in the past, he got more agitated.
Yeah.
But it should be the other way around. We do a tag
Correct.
team in a sense that when one is agitated, let that person take a time out and the other person step in calmly. So
Yes,
if
yes,
this is not communicated with each other, then there's a miscommunication, right? Maybe the parenting that you're going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. You are going to do it. And then it makes it confusing for the kids. And also with inconsistent kind of parenting approach, children find that they cannot predict what's going to happen. That leads to more anxiety.
Yeah.
And sometimes if parents are arguing or having some kind of conflicts, unknowingly, the children might even feel that it's my fault. Will my parents not love me anymore? Why are they fighting? Why are they arguing? So it's very important that we communicate one and also work as a team. So there is some consistency in how we parent. But of course, it's not going to be easy. It takes time to build this relationship between the both of you parenting.
Can I add on to what you just mentioned? Because it's also once again from my own experience. It was like I said, when you talk about tag team and the modeling, right? I recall what happened was in the past. I mean that I can be quite harsh to the extent I will blame the kid for saying, why are you causing us to be upset? Why are you making us upset and stuff like that? So that really caused him to really stay away from me and all. So what happens was, right, back then, even though before we attended the course, Brenda was always doing her best to calm down first. So she would like to get me away, right? But after attending the course, she improved faster than me. You know, the rate of growth is different. Yeah. And there were days whereby I was acting like I never learned anything. Everything blank, you know. Yeah, like back to square one kind. But she will still be employing those techniques. And by doing so, I realized it also works. What happens is, you know, she would attune to me instead. Like instead of not getting to the kid, setting the kid, right? Before she sees me coming in angered and about to explode again, she stopped me first. And then she modeled her connecting towards the kids, like to me too, and get me to calm down, get me to, okay, go away, it's all right, I can handle it. Go and take a breath, go and drink water, let me do it, let me handle it, okay? So she allowed me that space also to actually cool down myself. That means she reminded me, hey, you're supposed to cool down first. You're not supposed to come in like that. You're supposed to cool down first. Yeah. So I realized, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. So even though like both of us had attended the course, but I was slowly getting it only, not really getting it, and she caught it faster. She modeled it to me too. And I learned from what she was doing. And I'm talking a lot, I'm so sorry. Because I'm the one that needed the most improvement. Yeah, so like I just, yeah, it's really, I mean, we like what you say, the tech team, right? It takes time to work it out. And even when both learned and both knew, there are gonna be different rates of learning, different rates of adapting the strategies, different rates of applying them. And one might be faster, one might be slower, but the modeling constantly works. And what happens is at least the kids know that mommy is on my side. Mommy can still protect me. I can still trust mommy. Then slowly, with more, like I say, more calmness, and over time, right, I get better at it. I can also earn back their trust. It's really repairable. It's really repairable, the relationship. It really used to be, especially my younger boy. My younger boy seen the most of my my anger. Even when he was like before 1 year old, he see me shout at the elder brother, and he like, I could see his eyes, you know. But my younger boys were like super white, like thinking, why daddy like this one? So before young, he really knew it. So even before that's why I was very puzzled back then. Before I attended the course, I'm like, why does my younger boy reject me? I never shout at him, what? But he saw that I shouted at the elder boy. So he's like, I don't want this, daddy. Yeah, and for many years, I'm talking about 2 years plus, you know, it's even sometimes even when they're playing and having fun, you know, nobody's unhappy. When I'm in the room, suddenly, I don't want daddy. I don't want daddy. You were like, I didn't do anything. I just come in only. What you don't want me? It's already like I keep thinking, oh, that's it. I cannot do it anymore. But nowadays, my younger son will just come to me and give me a kiss, give me a hug. So what I'm really glad is that it takes time. It really takes time, but it's doable. It's repairable, and that it just takes one. Just takes one to be calm, to employ all that was learned, to really use all the techniques and strategies, but more than that, do it with love, do it from the heart. And when the kids really know that they can trust that one parent, and that this modeling is modeled for the other partner, and the other partner will slowly but surely, of course, and hopefully get it, and it will get better. I mean, it's not impossible, because to be honest, just few months back, I still think not possible. I mean, it's been, I think, only 9 months, 10 months since then. Only, I think, this last month or so, I'm starting to see my younger boy doing all the hugging and kissing me, and he has never done that last time. He'll be like, just randomly, I don't want daddy. But now, yeah.
Randomly hitting him also.
Yeah, randomly walk past me and hit me.
Even when he doesn't do anything wrong.
What I do?
Thank you for being so real and sharing with us. I think I don't need to repeat what I just said. It's beautiful. I just want to back it up with research. Okay, so the research says if at least one parent showed up for the child, the child has someone to count on. The child knows that, who I can feel safe with is good enough for the child to experience secure attachment. So this is the research that just back exactly what you just said. And I think for parents who are very concerned, like, oh, if I'm going to learn, then my husband is not learning or my wife is not learning, does it help? Is it going to be effective, right? Like, is it going to even work? So I think Brandon and Brenda had just shared with us that for them it works. I just want to add my side of the story. Okay, but in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, we're going to take questions after this, so just type it inside the chat box. Okay, so I just want to share my story, how I got my husband on board. So we also never talk about our parenting goals. Okay, we just go with the flow. And so then I held a workshop. So that was before COVID. I held a physical workshop, and he has to drive me there. Okay, and no choice, he has to drive me back. And he doesn't know where to go. So in the end, he became one of my participants in the workshop. So he just grabbed a chair and sat by the door at the side. It's a very small corner, like he was still there. So I told him, okay, you just need to help me take some videos and photos. So so by the end of the session, right, I asked him, hey, can you show me the videos? I forgot. He was listening to me. Teach. Because he was learning also. He didn't know about all this. He has zero knowledge about positive parenting. He just learned on the spot at the moment. And he didn't take the videos and photos, which I thought it's important to me, right? Like, I just wanted to keep. Then that's how it ended. Then when we went home in the next few weeks and all, I actually overheard him talk to my girl. Do you want to climb like a monkey to the toilet, or you want to gallop like a horse? It's exactly what I say in the course, in the workshop.
Getting cooperation.
He was actually listening. My husband was actually listening, and he tried to apply. He saw me do it. He saw me teach it. And he just wanted to see maybe it works, because probably he's very frustrated, right? Brush your teeth. She doesn't want to go. So he changed tactic. He just tried to use what I taught him. And that's how I got him on board. It was like forcing him to be in the class. But talking about this, making your husband or your wife to learn, another strategy that a parent tried was, for our FYTC course, right? We have audio. I gave you guys the audio version. So this mom, right? Okay, one of the moms, she played it in the car. And in the end, the husband bopian have to listen to it. And in the end, he realized that actually I learned this before. He's also a coach. He also coached adults. He said, it's also connection first. Then how come I didn't think about it to apply to my two girls? So in the end, she got him on board. The other mom, right? What she did was, so I'm giving you guys ideas, okay? Don't tell your partners. Was playing it on the TV, so you can sync, right? You can sync our course videos to the TV. So the husband was playing game. So just playing game at the sofa, and she's just watching. Then I think she told me like the next few days he started talking about what he heard from what I shared. But he was actually playing game, you know. But I think maybe men also can multitask. So they're playing game, but they're actually listening. So in the end, I think the husband actually was convinced and learning a lot and also applying. So I think one of the key points is also to educate ourselves.
Yes.
If not like in a family, right? The parent, not even one tries to learn to understand the child, then we're actually doing a disservice to the child, right? We are the child's parents, and we have this access to knowledge. We are educated. We are able to discern information. We are able to think of solution strategies, try, troubleshoot. We all have the ability, but why are we not doing it? Why are we not educating ourselves, taking time to learn? You know, there are some parents who say, I really have no time.
Yeah.
But if something is important to you, I feel we'll all make time for it.
Yeah.
So if your partner is important to you, you want to bring your partner on board, your kids are important to you, then it is so important that we make time to learn, educate ourselves. Okay.
In fact, oh sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying the very reason why I got on board, because the course name is so straightforward for us, from yelling to connecting. You know, my wife showed me and like,
Do you want to join?
yeah, and I'm like, Jose, this one, I need. I want to know how, because I don't want to feel rejected. I don't want to keep feeling that rejection from my children. You know, when your own children reject you, it's just it's heart wrenching. Thinking that, you know, suddenly I feel like sometimes I'm just a maid in the house. I just clean the house or to wash the clothes can already. This one is a real parent.
And I think the course was designed in a very good way too, because it's in very short snippets. So like even on my way to work, right, I can just listen and then I can learn a lot. So I found it very, very useful. Especially
you know why? Because I also know that we are all very busy.
Yeah.
I'm in the trenches with you guys every day. I'm raising my kids, and even myself, I also educate myself about like business and, you know, parenting as well. And I'm constantly like, I plug in whenever I can. Sometimes after I wash my face, I just plug in I just listen wherever I can, or I drive them to school, go and pick them up. I will also, you know, play the podcast in the car. So there's like Brenda, you told me, right, there's so much power in knowledge. Really, if we can educate ourselves, it makes a lot of difference. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe we just take a few questions. I think there was one question. Valtu said, so when I'm showering him, I ask who he wants to send you to school. He says, Mommy. He don't want Daddy because Daddy scold him. So I don't know how. Okay, so the mommy is asking if the child really just want one parent as a preferred parent. So what do we do in that sense? Okay, so in this case, right, it's there are many layers to this. Okay, of course, at the moment, okay, we can speak to the child, attune to the child. Yes, you really want mommy so much. Okay, that's where we want to let the child know that I see you, I hear you, I know what you want. But it doesn't mean that we're going to give in, which is a very tricky part, right? Setting boundaries in positive parenting is something that, you know, it's not like you read about it, you can do it. You really need to apply, get a response from your child. So for this parent particularly, I think it's important that you talk about this even before you shower the child. So let the child have some predictability. If it's, you know, always daddy who send, then let the child know beforehand. If it's always mommy, let him know. If sometimes mommy, sometimes daddy, let him know it's sometimes mommy, sometimes daddy. Then taking a broader view is that this daddy has to again work on the relationship with the child. So recently I had this parent who asked me this question, you know, that what can we do to help the father bond with the boy? Because this boy, he's at primary school age, he doesn't want to have any activity done with the daddy, because the daddy has been very harsh with him when he was younger. So the child doesn't want to have one-on-one time with the daddy, you know, when they go out, you know, he don't want the daddy to be there and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree that it's never too late to repair the relationship. So it really maybe it just takes a lot more effort. So in this question about the child who doesn't want daddy, I think daddy has to make time for the child. Spending one-on-one time doing the things that the child enjoy. initially my son was very sticky to me as well, but when he found common interest with my husband, burgers and soccer, yeah, then they just bonded together, they spend time together. So I think it's important that we help our kids by forming that close relationship, by understanding them, making time for them. Okay, yeah, let me see if there are any more questions. Okay, I will answer questions related to parenting on the same page so that we don't go off topic. Let me see. Okay, I think I think that's about it that's related to this topic. Maybe we just summarize the session. Sorry, Brenda, you have anything to share? Because I realized maybe you wanted to say something.
Me or?
No. Brenda. Sorry, the name, right? I was also trying to.
I know.
Yeah, because just now I asked what was your takeaway, greatest takeaway. So I haven't gave you a chance to share yet.
Okay. Yeah,
Then we can use that to sum up the session.
Okay. I think modeling really works. Like I actually printed out the coping cards that from your resource, and then I just placed it in the side of house. For quite some time it was untouched, so I thought it doesn't work. Then my eldest boy wasn't very interested in it, but surprisingly my younger boy actually time to time he will go there and take a look, and he will see and ask me what is this and all that. So I actually told him, shared with him about it, and that was like when he's calm and all that. Then I realized when during times when he melt down and all that, then I'll just bring out, we try this. Sometimes of course when at the heat of the moment he can't, but then I will model with him. There was one time I was in the toilet, I was also quite frustrated, so I told him that mommy needs to cool down also. Okay, I need to breathe. So I actually modeled it right there and then with him. I said, shall we blow candle? Then I blow candle, and then I asked him to blow candles as well. So he was actually quietly also blowing candles with me. So after then we both calmed down, and then we hugged, and then it was okay. So I really felt like modeling, it really action speaks louder than words. Like last time I used to teach my elder boy, explain so long, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, talking why we shouldn't do this and that. But it wasn't effective. Then modeling is just like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and it's so much more effective. So I think really works.
Yes, okay. I completely agree. Not just us, with a lot of parents, they've told me if one person model, the other will join in eventually, but it's going to take time. So there's this question by Eileen about, she said her husband is not very patient, which I can understand. Some of your partners, right, they're brought up with different family background, different upbringing. So different upbringing will definitely lead to different values. So sometimes the husbands find it so hard to be patient. All the more we have to be patient with the husband. All the more we have to model and show that, okay, I know you're very agitated. Okay. Also, same thing, connection before correction. It applies to adults as well. Tell your husband that, okay, I know you probably need some time away. So ask the husband to take a break. Come back and talk about it. Which also leads to the other question that another parent asked, what can we do if the parents have different expectations and priorities? I think of my mind, one answer I have is to communicate. Have open, honest communication regularly. So check in with your partners regularly, every day, come when you're back from work, talk to your husband about how's your day, find how are the kids, what did the kids do today. And I also want to give a tip for success is that you need to find the right time to speak to your partner. So obviously the husband just stepped into the house, stop, bombarding him with all the problems. I think he's probably also very frustrated with work, and he comes back home, he wants to have a peaceful and calm house. Then you start, complaining, the kids are shouting, and the house is in a mess. I think that is probably not the good time to communicate about the kids or any challenges that you face. I know that there are some parents who will text the partner and say, shall we talk tonight or something, I want to talk about texting. What. So you give the partner some time, just a heads up, exactly, okay, I'm having some challenges, okay, let's talk about it. So there are a lot of nuances in communicating, of course, but what we want to share is that it has to be done regularly, it has to be done, you have to listen. So instead of you making the other person listen to you, you have to listen to the other person as well. And at that time, I think we really have to ditch our ego, embrace all the differences. So we always teach our kids, we want to work towards problem solving, right? How do we solve the problem? And this applies to us in a marriage as well. How can we solve this problem? We can still respect each other's differences. We can still see that you are brought up in a different way, and there's nothing we can do to change about it. But we can change the narrative and write a new story for our children. We can start again. And how do we want to do that? That is why I think it's so important you align your parenting goals. So talk about what is your outcome. And I think with that, right, every day when you interact with your partner, sometimes you just forget what is that bigger goal. So you can remind each other about it. So if you say that, I want my kids to be respectful, every day you got to ask yourself, are you respectful to your child?
Yeah.
Are you modeling respect?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how you can just bring everything together. Of course, it's easier said than done, and it takes time. So for those of you who feel very defeated, you feel very alone in this parenting journey, I just want to assure you that there are a lot of resources out there that can help you feel supported, teach you how to work through with your partner, and to influence and model for your children. Okay? Yeah. So maybe we'll just end off the session by getting you guys, I just want to make sure that this is a helpful session for you. So maybe type out one thing that you have learned from today's session, one thing you want to try, or anything that you feel that strike a chord and you want to remember. Okay? All right. Let me just run through. Yeah.
Can I just share something real short?
Go ahead, please.
So this I always read before this quote that says, women, they in a marriage, in a relationship, they want stability, they want security. That's what they always desire. I mean, still very generic. Whereby men in a relationship, in a marriage, they want peace. Yeah. So oftentimes when there's a lot of shouting in the house, the man is the one that's very irritated, that kind, because they want peace. They want peace. And I've also come to realize along the way that if I want peace, I have to be the peacemaker. I cannot be the one to demand peace. I cannot say I want peace, because that's it. Besides, not peace anymore. Yeah. So I feel, I mean, if their husbands listening, fathers listening here, I'm still improving every day. I'm not perfect, totally far from it. But that's what I'm trying to remind myself. If I really want the peace in my house, I got to be the peacemaker. It has to start with me. Yeah. And I mean, if you feel like the previous one, some wives, some mothers, they feel like they don't know how to get their husbands on board. Exactly as what Jacinth you have shared, is that communication is really very important. It was when Brenda shared me how she's so tired, and then when you realize, when as a man, I realized that what I was doing was causing her more trouble, was causing her more tiredness. I realized that I have to change. And so when that realization comes, that's when there can be more sharing, there can be more open communication, and all the modeling is going to help. Yeah. If there wasn't that realization, and it might be a bit hard. Yeah. So the open communication. Yeah.
It takes two hands to clap, right? We always say, so both parties must support one another. But if you don't talk about it, then how are you going to clap, right? How are you going to make sure that you're aligned and you have common goals to work towards too?
Agree.
Okay. So in case you guys are wondering what is the course that we're talking about, so from yelling to connecting, so very simple. If you're yelling, I'm moving you towards connecting. Easier said than done, of course. All right, it's going to take up time. This is only for parents who want to commit to make a change to their families, who are willing to learn and start educating themselves. So in the course, like what they have shared, I gave you this 3-step approach. It's called ABC. And so ABC. So I have parents, partners who tell me, when I see my wife acting, I'll tell her ABC, and she knows what to do. Because ABC becomes a code word for them. Yeah, so ABC is my 3-step positive discipline communication roadmap. Basically what I did was just to curate all the resources I have and put it in a very bite-sized, succinct, easy, digestible way for you guys to understand as a parent, and also easy to apply and try it. Yeah, so if you guys are interested to find out more, you can head over to the link in my bio, ourlittleplaynest.com/FYTC, and that is where I'm welcoming the 9th batch. So it's like 9th time already. I've done it so many times, and the reason why I'm willing to open it again, because I've seen so many success stories, and I'm changing so many lives. Like every time I hear a story from a parent, like just now I just read one, I have goosebumps, because I feel so upset for the parent. I feel like I really want to reach out and hug her and help her. So I think that if when I was a first time mom, I wish someone told me about positive parenting. Yeah, and now I hope to be that someone to a parent who also wish that they get help. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, doors are open now. So I welcome you. Both of them have gone through it, and they're also in my sprout. So I'll see you guys in our usual coaching call again. I just want to end off by summarizing the session by reading out what some of the parents had picked up today. So thanks for the authentic sharing. I have learned modeling is important, and it should start from parents. This is by one last book. So she said we need to communicate with our partner and get them to be on the same page. Okay. Another takeaway from the parent is that we have to control emotions. So I like what Brandon shared about press the stop button. Like, press the button, stop. Then it's much easier for us to. Okay, don't react immediately, practicing the pause connection before correction, little strategies to make it fun for children to follow instructions, and children are modeling our behavior. Yes, so that's what we covered today. If you guys have further questions, feel free to reach out to me, and anything about the course or about parenting on the same page, I'll be happy to share and help. All right, so once again, thank you so much for being here to share your stories, and you are changing lives as well. Whatever you shared, you'll never know someone out there who will listen to this or the replay to realize, hey, I can do this, I can try that. So again, thank you for helping.
Thank you, Jacinth.
Yeah, okay, so we'll end here, and I'll chat with you guys again soon.
Okay,
all right,
good night.
bye everyone. Good night.
So how do we end this?
I will end it.
Oh, okay.